Tarantino. Please take right here. Welcome to Hall H.
Good to be here.
Nice to see you. You seem pretty chill and relaxed, considering what you're standing on the precipice of, showing footage before that no one's ever seen.
I mean, I'm really excited by it because, you know, actually it was funny because the company made the movie, the Weinstein Company, put together a trailer, and I kind of looked at it, and I'm like, well, it's not quite right because it's like almost too early to make a trailer for a film. And I go, wait a minute now. If a bunch of people are coming to Hall H to see me announce my new movie, then they're probably already fans. So they don't really need to see a Pacific Rim sizzle reel.
Right.
So I decided to cut together a special, me and my editor spent 2 days this week, and we cut together a special 7-minute piece just for you guys. And so I'm pretty chill because I'm just really waiting to see your guys' response to what it is that we did.
I mean, I think one of the reasons why, I mean, obviously the movies are great, but you also being, you're sort of a character in the meta part of the movie too, because people, just like if you go to the New Beverly or you see how clearly intense you are about making sure the lenses are right, like you love this. This is like if one of you guys just started making movies, like that's basically what you get to do.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, well, people keep asking me about San Diego Comic-Con, and I remember, you know, the days that I used to come here, like in '88 and '89 and '90, where it's like July was like the most important time of the year. I basically made $10,000 a year from my minimum wage job, and you would just save all year long for July, so you could come down here and you and 5 guys would rent a room together and say so you could spend another night here, and like just spend my money on bootleg videos and vintage movie posters and action figures and all kinds of cool stuff, like lunch boxes, Man from Uncle lunch boxes, the artwork by Jack Davis on it. It was awesome.
And have you been enjoying watching the growth of Comic-Con?
Yeah, no, very much so. I mean, some people complain about it and everything, but the idea about like, oh, it's not about comic books anymore, that's BS. I actually came here 2 years ago, I wore a mask so no one knew who I was, and I actually filled in all these holes in my comic book collection.
It is.
Usually I wear a Lucha Libre mask, but that's...
Yeah,
if you see Blue Demon walking around, it might be me.
It's fun. There's so many people. It's hot and fun. It's sweaty. It's the only place you have to wash your hands before you go to the bathroom. But it doesn't matter. Like it's a good time. But is but being able to when you basically went antique shopping to find these lenses.
Oh yeah.
So how did you guys decide? Well, this is the way we have to do it. This ultra rare, ultra old way to present this movie.
Well, it was just the fact that like. You know, we were first just looking for a really cool scope 70mm lenses, but when we found these ones, and it's like the biggest format available, 276. You know, so normal scope is 235. This is 276. So it literally is the biggest format available, other than some 360 thing that they have at, you know, Grand Canyon stuff at Disneyland, and I remember the movie shot in this. You know, these lenses are actually, it's not they use these same type of lenses on Ben-Hur. They used these lenses on Ben-Hur. These lenses they only made one set of them. They only exist as this group. So these are the lenses that made Ben-Hur. These are the lenses that they shot It's a Mad World in. They shot the Battle of the Bulge and the Marlon Brando Mutiny on the Bounty. These are the same lenses they use.
This is tremendous. How are you not like, can you hand me that? Oh shit. Like, how do you not... I mean, you're basically guarding history.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
But it's working history.
Yeah, no, well, actually, our question was because we were shooting in such frigid, cold environments. It's so that like normal cameras just freeze and stuff. Normal lenses freeze all the time. And so I was wondering, like, how are these going to work out there in that cold? But the camera department just did a fantastic job of just putting test after test after test, putting them under the right conditions, keeping them warm. We never had a situation where they stopped working and we couldn't work that day. They never had a situation where they froze. It was really... I had such a great camera department. I don't know if I would have the balls to actually have done the film without a camera department that I could so truly trust in pulling this off.
Yeah, and do you feel like, a good camera department. Not all directors come out here and give props to other people that work for them. They just take the accolades themselves, so that's very kind of you. But do you, why was it important for you to tell this particular story this way? Was that when you first envisioned the movie, you were like, we want to shoot it as wide as possible, or did that just evolve?
Well, it sort of kind of evolved as time went on. I mean, the initial idea is, like, I am not a fan of digital projection. I mean, everyone knows that I'm not a fan of shooting on digital, but I'm not even a fan of digital projection. By losing film projection, to me, we've already seceded too much ground with the barbarians. And so the thing about it is, my feeling is, okay, look, I didn't work 20 years to work to diminishing returns. And so just the idea of shooting my movie and we have a couple of screenings in 35 and then just the rest are DCPs, that's not why I got into this business. That's not the movie industry I signed up for. And so I thought, well, if I shoot it in 70, they're going to have to release it in 70 or else they wouldn't waste that money. So that was the initial idea, all right, was saying, well, if we do it in 70, then I will guarantee definitely some film, quite a few film screenings around the world, even though I know that this could still be playing in mostly 3,000 theaters and digital. But then what happened is once we got these lenses and we started putting it together, then it all kind of really kept evolving. One of the things people say to me all the time, they go, yeah, but you know, we've heard that most of the film takes place in one area, like Reservoir Dogs. Right. All right. So what's the point of shooting 70 millimeter for that? And I'm really looking forward to the film kind of, my movie breaking that notion, because there is this sort of notion that basically 70 millimeter is for travelogues. Basically, it's to shoot Lawrence of Arabia. It's all about desert landscapes or mountainscapes, and then that's why people would shoot 70 millimeter. No, when you shoot a big 70 millimeter format like that and you shoot it indoors, it can actually be more intimate. It can actually take you closer to the actors. It can make everything more vivid and more vital. So it's not just for shooting travelogues. It's not just for shooting beautiful scenery. It's for shooting great drama.
Well, I think that is an excellent place. Maybe we should show these people some of the things that you're talking about right now.
Script, which you want to take part of it, and I said, sure, it's great. And you want to rehearse it. So a couple of days in the rehearsal, I found out that we were going to actually be doing it in front of a crowd about this size. We rehearsed it, and then after we did it, it was quite a fun experience, and it played really well. We quite decided we wanted to make the movie, and I was just thrilled to be having the opportunity to be a part of it.
How is it different working with, I mean, it feels like, I'm assuming from an outsider's perspective, it's probably a unique experience working with him.
Well, I could get myself into a lot of trouble here. There's nobody like this. He's in a league of his own, and I think all you guys know that. I think he's just, it's going to be hard to sit next to. We could go on and on and on, but it's honestly true that every couple of generations or so, somebody comes along who does it not only differently, but does it his or her way in such a way that it's inimitable. When you see 5 frames of anything he does, you know who's doing it. And I really mean this sincerely. I think all the great actors that are sitting here would agree. I would wish this for every actor, actress, that they have the opportunity to work with Quentin once. It's a fantastic experience, not just in terms of what he does, but it's really more how he does it. It's a circus that you want to be a part of.
Well, we have about 20 minutes, so I want to make sure that we get as many fan questions as possible so that you guys can drive this and have all your questions answered. So let's shine the light. Light! Well, oh, hello!
Hey!
Amazing.
I like your tailor, young lady.
Hi! What's your name?
My name's Alyssa Camacho.
Well, hello. What is your question?
My question is for Mr. Tarantino, and it is if you were going to use the same style of anime from Kill Bill Volume 1 into the Hateful Eight somehow?
No, there's not an anime sequence in the Hateful Eight. Where were you when I needed you? That's probably a pretty good idea. I'm thinking about some of the flashbacks could have been really good in Japanese anime. That would be cool. No, we're not doing it on this one, but I'm very flattered and gratified that you're such a fan of that.
Yes,
and you look amazing.
Cartwheels out. Hey, what is your name?
I'm Joey, by the way, she's probably the coolest parents in the world.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask...
Or they're dead. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know.
My question was for Quentin. As was reported, the original script for this was leaked online, and until heard that you, by the way, until I heard that you were rewriting it totally. Then I read it and it was great. My question was, did the fact that you had already had a story for this make it difficult to do a total rewrite? And also, second question, sorry about that, will we be seeing The Bride again, perhaps in volume 3?
So the thing about it was, what pissed me off about what happened with the leak was the fact that normally I kind of finish a script, and once I'm done with it, I'm ready to go into production. But this was one I kind of wanted to go through 3 drafts. I wanted to get there. I didn't want to have to, there's certain plot threads that were in the first draft that I wasn't quite ready to tie up yet, but I knew I had a couple of drafts to go. So that's why I was a little disconcerted when it got out there. Having said that, though, my process was my process. So even though I yelled and screamed about it, I kind of kept on doing what I planned to do. So the second draft and the third draft is what I ended up shooting, and was where I was going anyway with it. So that kind of just went on the way it would. It just got more public than I wanted it to get. And we'll see. I never say never. We'll see. All right. When it comes to Kill Bill 3, Uma would really like to do it. We talk about it every once in a while or so. All right. You got to wait for Vernita's daughter to get old enough to go and kill her. All right. So we'll see.
I have a question, just as we're sort of weaving this in for Jennifer Jason Leigh. Is there anything that you can sort of tell us about the essence of who your character is? Because obviously we got some glimpses. Without giving too much away, what can you say?
Being taken to be this man, and she's doing everything she can to survive. She's a bit feral, crazy like a fox, I would say. She's pretty smart.
Excellent. And I was very excited to see Walton Goggins and I were in House of Thousand Corpses together. And you are in a Quentin Tarantino movie now, and I'm very excited and proud for you. I said, I'm just excited that just seeing where we all kind of started out, and now you're way huge. I mean, what was it like for you coming onto the set with all this pantheon of actors?
I mean, yeah, look around. Really, it was extraordinary. There's one scene in particular. I can't really go into too much, but there was an opportunity to kind of interface with almost everyone up here, and it was at one point during the rehearsal period with Quentin, I just stopped, and you're just kind of filled with this emotion, because it's like you hope that you can hang on long enough to put yourself in a situation where a filmmaker like Quentin, gives you a shot, and then you look around at all of this talent. I remember where I was when I first saw every single actor up here, and it's been an extraordinary run. It's really a special experience.
You're a very special boy, Walton Goggins.
I'm a special boy.
What is your name, sir?
Hi, my name's Sam. My question's for Quentin Tarantino. I was just wondering, since you just made Django Unchained and you're making Hateful Eight, are you a Western director now? Can we expect more Westerns in the future?
Yeah, I actually feel that when it comes to Westerns, maybe not in the old days when people made 20 Westerns or 25 Westerns, as well as doing other things. But I think, at least nowadays, you have to make at least 3 Westerns to call yourself a Western director. Or anything else, you're just dabbling in the genre. And so I will eventually make 3 Westerns, so I can officially call myself a Western director, and put my Westerns on the table with all the other Western directors, and then we'll just see how we stand.
Excellent. Good question. I'd love to hear from Demian too, just anything about your experience on the film, and just the elements of it, and it just seemed very claustrophobic in parts of it. So what was it like?
Well, yeah, it was all that. When you become an actor, this is what you want. You want to work with the best directors and fantastic cast. And so for me, I've been a big fan of all these guys for many years. And I can only say that I had the best seat in the house. Watching all these guys in action, that was my gift.
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing about Damien. It was really interesting because in the very first draft of the script, Bob was a Frenchman, all right, and then I decided in the second draft to change him to a Mexican. But I couldn't think of anybody immediately. Nobody came to my mind immediately to play the character, and so actually I called up my buddy Robert Rodriguez. And I go, okay, so like I'm writing this Mexican character and everything. Who would you recommend from the different Mexican actors you know? Would you recommend somebody in particular? He hadn't read the script or anything. And he goes, oh, Quentin, Damien Bichir. Damien Bichir, that's who it is. We did Machete Kills together, and you were fantastic in Machete Kills. He goes, we did Machete Kills together, and through the whole movie, I kept saying, you're a Quentin actor. Quentin's got it with you. You are a Quentin actor, all right? And so he just said, it's Damien. Just don't talk about it, just hire him. I love you, Robert.
Hey, what is your name?
Hi, my name is Jose. Quentin, you just answered my question because I'm also Mexican. Demian, eres un chingón, te adoro, soy un fan. Well, yeah, why do you cast Demian? I mean, you can also cast, you said, a French and also a German. Why you didn't cast Christoph Waltz? It's your favorite, I think. But what do you like about Demian?
Oh, well, the thing about it was, Damien's just an amazing actor. And actually, to tell you the truth, it's like, of all the characters, if you look at what's on the page and then you see what Damien delivered with it, it's like the one like, how the fuck did he get there from here? I mean, what's on the page doesn't really reflect what he ended up doing. Am I wrong about that? It doesn't reflect it at all. All right, he's like the page off the page. He just moved on. He did his own thing, and we're all the better for it.
You're talking about a true chameleon here. We worked together for 4 months, all of us, right? When we got on the plane from Los Angeles to come down here, none of us recognized Damien. We didn't know who he was. So
I thought it was Jennifer's security.
Tim Roth, was the same experience for you in sort of developing this guy? Like, how did you arrive at this particular character?
I just did what he told me to do, which is pretty much what you have to do. I mean, there are very few directors where the writer-directors where you read it and it's done. It's very, very clear from what's on the page what you need to do, and there isn't really an improvisation necessary. It's incredible. So. The main concern really was that, am I doing it too much here? Is it too over the top? No, give me more.
Yeah, Tim's performance is a little bit a gallery of great British character actors from the past. All right, give me a little Terry Thomas on this one.
Very much so. Yes, right.
So when you and Michael Madsen and you guys get together, does it feel new, or does it feel like, oh, this is where we just left off here? We just picked up where we left off before?
I think we picked up where we left off, but I think it went one step farther. I think we are even better. We're smarter, a little bit older, but still under control, the best director on the planet.
Excellent. Hello, sir. What is your name?
My name is Drew.
And what's your question?
Drew? First off, I love you.
Thank you, Drew.
Oh, that was for him.
I just wanted to ask, recently in an interview you said that you were probably, you most likely you could stop after 10 films, and I want to know how much validity there was to that, and if so, why?
Well, we'll see what ends up happening. I mean, that wasn't so much a mission statement, more that me trying to have a serious discussion of an artist's vitality in public in a world where that's not really a good thing to do. In a world before it was all broken down into like 133 articles where the paragraphs are taken out of context. All right, but there is an aspect. I do kind of like the idea of 10 and done. There is a kind of neat thing about that. I do like that. We'll see what happens. But you have to keep in mind, though, if I go by my normal route of the last 20 years, I usually make about 3 movies a decade. So this is like number 2 for this decade. So even if I were to end at 10, that's still like another decade and a little bit more to finish that up. However, if things change as far as like, if I can't shoot on film, if I can't release to some degree or another on film, I don't know if I'll even make 10. However, we'll see what happens. All right, and I might just say the hell with that and make 15. Who knows? But I do like the idea of getting out, leaving you wanting a little bit more. I like the idea of getting out while it's like well, it's still good. I don't want to be out of touch. And and if everything changes, well then I guess I am out of touch, and it's time for me to step aside and let other people take the road. On the other hand, though, part of the thing I don't like about digital projection and all that, to me, it's just HBO in public. You're just watching television in public. So if that becomes what movies become, then I can move to television. All right, then they'll cut out the middleman. And then, it's like, so maybe there's 10 movies, and maybe I have 3 miniseries in my future. Where then I can just write my stories, and they're as long as they are, and I just shoot it all, and then make these little novels for television, and that's all good.
Yeah. Sounds good. People seem happy with that.
I mean, my scripts are always too long to get them, except for Kill Bill. All my scripts get cut down anyway. So if I could actually just write a story and it ends up being 8 hours, and all good. All good.
Or it just goes on forever. Yeah. In 5 years, you'll have to shoot it on Snapchat. Like, there won't even be any Disney's anymore. Like, it's an emoji movie. What is your name, sir?
Hey, how you doing? Martin. How's it going?
Hey, Martin.
This is kind of a daunting panel of coolness, so it's I have a little trouble here. So I'll direct this to Kurt Russell. You've played some fairly recognizable characters over the years. Snake, Wyatt Earp, Jack. People that maybe recognize. How'd you pull those particular characters in to give some spirit to the character that you play in this movie that's coming up?
You're actually very insightful into how I go about my work. I think one of the fun things you can do as an actor, and I kind of figured it out for me anyway, when I was 27 years old, had the opportunity to play Elvis Presley. Nobody else really wanted to do it. And I figured, well, fuck it, if I'm going to do this, I'll go down in flames. That's a good one to go down with. And it didn't turn out that way. And for the first time, I got to do something really the way I wanted to do it. And I got to do it with a man named John Carpenter, who we then went on to make work with. And he gave me the opportunity to do things, kind of the way we both saw them, the way I wanted to do them. And I always wanted to try to have the chance to create people that were, to me, hopefully something that people could watch and go, that's a little different. Guy's a little different than I, but I know somebody kind of like that. So I have this tendency to take people from my real life or people from the movie business, take little pieces of them. There's 6 very specific people who are John Ruth. They are my guiding way to find John Ruth, and it all comes from what he wrote and discussions with Quentin. This one was an interesting one. I didn't get this right away. I was struggling a little bit, and Quentin was helping me kind of try to find a way. Whatever it is what it's going to be, but that's a really insightful question for me. Thank you very much.
Oh, well done. Mr. Bruce Dern, love to hear from you for a sec. Bruce, how do you fit into all of this? How do you fit into the story? Who is this guy?
Well, I fit into the story, I think, because the kid grew up watching me be a jerk on television. And there's like a couple of things I'll say, even though it's not directly an answer to your question. The excitement for all of us was just to be asked by this man to be in his movie. That's number one. Number two, Quentin has the greatest attention to detail on a set, making a scene, as any director who ever lived. If he had a rival, it would only be Luchino Visconti. Secondly, he creates an atmosphere for all of us, not to do our greatest work necessarily, but to get better. And he does that for everybody on the set, not just the actors, but everybody else. And I was excited to come to work every single day with this man, because I thought we just might have a chance to do something that's never been done. That's Quentin Tarantino.
That's a climactic, beautiful We have time for one more question. No?
Oh,
She,
come on.
how can you do that to her? Don't be evil. Let this poor girl ask her question, or I won't really be able to do anything about it. Otherwise, I guess. Turn her mic on.
Okay.
What'd you say?
We'll repeat it back.
You can have my mic.
Her name is Natalie. Stop. If you, okay, there we go. Good. No, yeah, go. We forced them into submission. Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, I just want to say, Quentin, you're so awesome. My entire family loves you.
Oh, thanks, Charlie.
And my question is, what is your favorite thing you've ever said or written in a movie?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh, wow, that is a good one, actually.
Good last question. And you were going to let her do it, you monsters!
Oh, gosh. God, that's actually such a good question. I don't really know if I have an answer for it, especially with this press for time bill shit. All right. Gosh darn. I can't think right now. I can't think of anything as far as a writer is concerned. All right, that I've written that was like my #1 favorite. No, I take that back. All right. Yeah, my favorite thing I think I've ever written is the scene in the French farmhouse at the beginning of *Inglourious Basterds*. It was, in my very first script, True Romance, it was the whole Sicilian speech. And I always knew that was the one to beat. And then when I finally wrote that scene in *Inglourious Basterds*, like, oh, I think I finally beat that one.
Excellent. Well, you guys, please go.
I'm going to make one announcement to you guys that people don't know yet, so I'm going to announce it out here now. It wasn't for sure, and we just kind of settled it down. You guys know that I normally don't use an original score in my movies. I kind of take scores from other movies and put them in there. And this one I kind of thought, maybe this should have an original score. And so I'm here to announce that the great Ennio Morricone will not only be doing an original score for the Hateful Eight that he's writing right now, we'll be recording in Prague in the next couple of weeks, but that will be his first Western score in 40 years.
Hateful Eight comes out December 25th of this year, Christmas Day. Please, a huge hand for Quentin Tarantino.